Controlled articular rotations, or CARs for short, are basically just joint circles. So the idea is that you keep your body totally still except for one joint. You move that joint in circles. I have tennis balls in my hands here, which I'm squeezing for tension, and a block between my legs to give myself even more tension throughout the body. Starting with the cervical spine, we'll go about 30 seconds in each direction. Don't worry about how fast you're going. Just try to trace large, consistent circles with your joints. If you feel any pain, we'll skip that range of motion. You won't push through any pain. Changing directions, rotating your neck the other way. You can treat this as a gentle warm-up by taking it easy without much tension, or this can prime you for a workout, or could be the workout if you're really squeezing hard, squeezing the tennis ball, squeezing the blocks. So it can be both gentle or intense, however you want to take it on that day. Okay, that was our cervical spine. Now we'll get into our thoracic, our upper back. Same thing, 30 seconds in each direction. Trying to keep the rest of the body still, not compensating with hip movements or any movements other than the joint that we're trying to rotate. We'll change directions, taking it the other way. Again, we're not doing this for reps, so don't worry about how many circles you're making. And we're not doing it for speed. These are CARs for time. So you could do 3 circles in 30 seconds, or you could do 1 big slow circle in 30 seconds. Both would be fine. All right, getting into the shoulders. Elbows straight, arms out in front of you at about a 45-degree angle. And we're going to take our scapulae in circles, working them up, back and together, down the back, and forwards. Up, back, down, and forwards. All 4 movements: scapular elevation, retraction, depression, and protraction. Keep the elbows straight. We'll change directions. Try to keep the rest of your body still. I'm doing some weird movement with my head and neck here. It might be a beard thing, I'm not sure, but pay no attention to it. Moving on, continuing with the shoulders, we'll come to a kneeling position, right knee down, left knee forwards, squeeze the tennis balls, and we'll take the left arm in circles. You reach it up. When it can no longer reach anymore, you rotate, 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 and then reach it back. And we'll do this like a windshield wiper, so then reach it back. When you can't reach anymore, rotate, 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 and keep it going. So not one continuous direction, but rather we'll go back and forth. Find the sticky spot and try to rotate through it. If you look closely, you can see some tension on my face. Wow, yeah, I'm working hard here. I want you to do the same. Squeezing the tennis ball with the offhand, keeping your torso braced. Try to use as many muscles as you can, all the activation you have. Switching sides, same thing. Right knee forward, left knee down. Big brace. And take it through your range of motion. Try to isolate the movement in your shoulder without compensating by twisting your torso or moving from any other joints. Again, you can do this gently in the morning and it won't be too intense, or you can squeeze as hard as you can and try to get as deep through the circle as you can, tracing the biggest, strongest circle that you have access to. Ooh, we're struggling here. Mobility training and strength training are the same. The stronger we can get at these end ranges of motion, the stronger every posture will become. One more round. All right, moving on to our elbows. We'll start with the palms facing up, and we'll let the palms lead the motion. So you flex the elbows, and then pronate and extend the elbows. You supinate to turn the palms towards you and lift, and then pronate, palms away from you and push. My girlfriend just blew me a kiss there. And for the first round, the palms lead the way. You're just pushing against air, so you're going to have to use your brain and your body to try to create tension here as though the air is thick that you're pushing against. Same action, this time the backs of the hands lead the way. So you pronate and flex the elbows, and then supinate and extend the elbows. You don't have to know every anatomical term yet, but you'll learn them through doing these controlled articular rotations. We have our pronation and supination, and our extension and flexion. Easy way to remember, if you want more soup, you turn your palms up. Right, getting into the wrists. We'll start with the palms facing up. We make fists, and then start in one direction with both arms and rotate. Keep the wrists facing up, so it's not a forearm exercise here, just the wrist joint is moving, not from the elbow or the shoulder. Nice and slow. Changing directions, same thing. We'll be doing a lot of arm balancing, handstanding, so we're going to have to make sure every morning we're doing these wrist cars. Same action, but with the palms facing down, making fists, tracing circles, slow, controlled circles. Changing directions, last round. Feeling the burn in the forearms here. We'll get into the hips from a side lying position. So I'm going to start with my left hip, so I'll lay on my right side, get comfortable. Taking me a little while to get comfortable, and we're going to take our hip through the biggest circles we can. Big breath in to brace. Use all the muscles in your body to make this circle. Knee up, knee out. Internally rotate, send the foot towards your head. Extend your hip, and bend. That's one circle. Again, in, up and out, internal rotation and extension. Ideally, the body stays quite still except for the hip here. I struggle with these, so I'm going to be compensating some, moving my spine and torso. But if you look closely at my face, I am struggling here, and the cramps are real in my outer hip. Changing directions, same thing. Tracing the biggest circles you can, moving just from the hip. Trying to get the femur to move around as much as possible. If you get a nice cramping sensation in the internal rotated position, let me know. So do I. Time for one more circle. And we'll switch sides. Same thing, side lying on your left, ready to work the right hip. Get comfortable, brace, use every muscle in your body. Take your knee and your hip in the biggest circle you can. The knee comes in, the knee goes out. You internally rotate, extend the hip, and back into flexion. Out, internal rotation, hip extension. The pain cave is real, not faking these facial expressions. Switching directions, same. Tracing big circles. Again, mobility work and strength work are one and the same. As you open up these ranges of motion, you'll open up new strength that you didn't have before. Time for one more circle. Keep the tension. Ooh, the butt cramps are real. Ooh, glad we finished that one. Going on to our knee cars. So we'll start by internally rotating, extending, externally rotating, and flexing. So there will be some ankle movement here, but we're trying to keep it at the knee. The knee is mostly a hinge joint, so you'll see this flexion and extension happening, but it does allow for some rotation. We want to build bulletproof knees, so we'll work the full circles here of internally rotated and extended, externally rotated and flex. Changing directions, same thing. Trying to move just from the knee joint. See, I have my leg in somewhat of a sleeper hold. Helps me isolate the movement to just the knee. Good. Time for about one more circle. You might not be able to, but if you can, extend your knee fully. Please don't in this rotated knee position. I don't need you to lock out the knee. So as you lift it up here, you're not going to fully straighten your leg. Again, you'll see my ankle moving some. I'm trying to keep the action in my knee and shin rotating. Moving the tibialis. Changing directions. And external extension, internal inflection. We'll do these every single day. We'll make progress, and everything will get a lot easier. Good. Time for one more circle. And very nice. Moving on to the ankle. So I'll stand on my left foot and just work my right foot. The idea is to keep the right leg totally locked out, not move from the right hip or the right knee, just the ankle. In one direction, the largest circles you can make. Again, for more intensity, you can see I'm squeezing my fist, trying to activate all the muscles I can. Changing directions. Slow, controlled circles. This is my right ankle here. I've broken this one about 3 times from playing basketball in my 20s. So I start with this one first. It is a struggle. I would recommend whichever is your struggle side, start with that one so you can have the most energy to complete the set. Do your best. Switching sides, same thing. Again, just the ankle is moving. Try not to move the knee, the hip, anything. Just the ankle rotating through the largest circle you can take it through. Changing directions. One more circle. Very nice. Finishing off with some foot and toe work. All 5 toes down, lift the big toes and set them down. Lift the big toes only and set it down. Just the big toes, set them down. Now the big toes stay down, all 4 toes lift and set them down. Big toes stay down, other 4 toes lift and set them down. Again, controlling the feet. This is your base. The stronger we can get the feet, the better. All 5 toes up, just the big toes touch. All 5 up, just the big toes. Again, all the toes up, just the big toes. Now we'll work on waving the toes down. So lift all 5 toes, flare all the toes out. Start with your pinky toe, then your ring, then your third, then your second, then your big toe. I've got web toes, so this is extra tough for me. Again, one more round, waving the feet from pinky toe to big toe. And we did it. Namaste.